Thank you for choosing Starbucks. What can I get started for you?
Yeah, can I get a grande white chocolate mocha with peppermint? Can I also get a bacon, Gouda, and egg sandwich?
Okay.
And that's it.
Alrighty, it's going to be $12.60 for you.
Thank you.
Maybe $12.60 today.
Awesome, thank you. Oh, I actually wanted it hot. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Sure.
Okay.
That'll work. I'm sorry about that. Thank you. Never specified, so that's my bad. Thank you so much. You too. I hate doing that by accident. I didn't specify. It was kind of my fault, though. I got it hot and cold. She gave me the cold one too. Okay. Oh, life. She was really nice about it, though. I appreciated that. Now I have way more coffee than I know what to do with. It's so bright. Hi, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Tasha, and we are currently in the Hobby Lobby parking lot because we're gonna go get some yarn. So today I've got my Starbucks, which you saw at the beginning. I struggled a little bit getting it because I have two. That was a whole thing. I always think that vlogging is going to be great. I have it all mapped out in my head, right? I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then it never works out that way. Which honestly is probably a little bit more interesting than the way that I had it in my head. So you're welcome, I guess, for the entertainment. I don't know. Anyway, we're at the mall right now because that's where our Hobby Lobby is. And I'm going to go pick out some yarn for an exciting project. So in this video, we're actually going to be talking about my temperature crochet project, and I'm very excited about it. I did put a poll up on my posts tab on YouTube, and a few people did vote, and temperature cardigan actually did win. So I was kind of leaning more towards that anyway. I had mentioned it in the last video, and so I think that's what we're gonna do because I want something a little bit more useful. I mentioned in the last video as well, very briefly, I've been crocheting for about 12 years, so I have a very large collection of crocheted blankets that I've created already, and so I really don't need another one. So we're gonna do a cardigan because that's been my new obsession. For whatever reason, I can't finish any. I have a couple whips of cardigans, but this one we're gonna finish by December 2026. So anyway, in this video I'm going to explain a little bit of how I'm going to be doing this and my plans going forward, how many squares I'm going to be making, and exactly how I'm going to do per day and all of that. I have it all planned out in my planner currently, and I will give a closer look at this. This is kind of my plan. I kind of just sketched it out. This plan may change. It may not change. I don't know. I'm winging it, to be honest with you. I do have a couple of inspiration pictures that I will put up right now on kind of what I want it to look like. I will be making the cardigan out of sunburst granny squares, and one of my favorite squares ever. They look beautiful. I love them. Each row is going to be a day. It may be a little bit easier for me to catch up if I get behind, which I will. It's just inevitable. But these are my temperatures that I have so far. I am going to do it in increments of 5 degrees because I want this to be as colorful as possible. And also I don't want too many like repeating rows. There probably will still be repeating rows, but I want to make it a little bit larger so that we don't have any repeating rows, or as many. So currently I have 14 different colors. I know you can't see this, but I have 14 different colors that I need to pick out. I have for the temperature 30 to 34, and this is Fahrenheit because I live in the US. So 30 to 34 degrees Fahrenheit, 35 to 39, 40 to 44, 45 to 49, 50 to 54, 55 to 59, 60 to 64, 65 to 69, 70 to 74, 75 to 79, 80 to 84, 85 to 89, 90 to 94, and 95 to 100. I live in the South, so it can get up to 100, although I am using the average temperatures, so it may not hit that very often, but we will see. Anyway, let's go pick out some yarn for these colors because why not? I'm very excited about it. And we're not quite to the 1st yet. And so I want to get everything planned out before then so that I have everything ready for me to start on January 1st. Again, I'll probably have to, you know, there is so much traffic behind me. Oh my gosh. Welcome to the mall, I guess. But anyway, let's go get some yarn. And I'm going to take you with me and I'm going to try to vlog in public and we'll see how that goes. We're here. It is freezing right now. I'm so cold. It's like 20 degrees. It's a bunch of cute kids. Oh, that's cute. This is what I'm choosing from. This is a big old line. Oh, here we go. This yarn is what I started using, and I love it. It's so soft. It's not on sale though, which is a little bit unfortunate, but that's okay. A lot of people here. I thought I got here early enough that there wouldn't be. Also, the music is so loud. Gotta come to the sketchbooks. Always have to come to the sketchbooks. Even though I haven't had one in a long time. Ugh, I love them. And they're 40% off. I used to draw a lot when I was a kid. Don't draw as much as I used to, but it's still pretty fun. I mostly have my iPad now though. I kind of want to get into like art journaling or like junk journaling. And so one of these would kind of be nice. Kind of expensive though. Look at this huge one. That thing's amazing. That's not that much. This one is $18.99 and this one's bigger and it's $21.99. Not too bad. Okay, so I am now out of Hobby Lobby. That was a little bit stressful. I really genuinely thought that if I had gone early in the morning, earlier, it was 9 o'clock, about 9:30 when I got here. I really thought that if I had gone a little bit earlier, then there wouldn't be as many people, but I was wrong. There was a lot of people and the music was so loud, so I didn't get as much footage as I really wanted to. And there was, while I was there, like looking at the yarn, there was this guy and his mom, I think, and they were full on taking up the whole aisle. They were really loud. I'm just not a people person. Anyway, I got all my yarn. You can kind of see it right here. My car is just full of yarn right now because I got one for each of the colors, right? So there's 14 colors. And then I got a neutral color, which I'll show you in a second, to make the ribbing and like the sleeves, the cuffs and stuff like that. So I got a lot of yarn, almost $93 later, and I got all this yarn. I was really hoping that it'd be on sale, but I got all the way here and I realized it was not on sale. So that's okay. I want to show you what I got really quick and tell you what the temperatures are. I know I mentioned the temperatures earlier, but I spent the time and I went through all of my yarn and I wrote down the names of everything that I got and what temperature they're going to be associated with. So I'll show you right now the colors I got. So the very first color I got, and this is for 30 degrees Fahrenheit to 34 degrees Fahrenheit. This one is from I Love This Yarn and it's called Arctic. So it's this really pretty like light blue. And then the next color I got, which is for 35 degrees to 39 degrees, is Sea Blue. Super, super pretty. I love these. I love this yarn. Has a really good selection of like neutral colors. Not so much like darker colors. Their darker colors tend to be very vibrant and I was really struggling with that. So when you see, as you will see going on. I did supplement this with some Yarn Bee colors as well, because I think they do a little bit better at making their darker colors a little bit more neutral and not so bright. So you'll see that in just like 2 more yarn skeins. But the next one is for 40 degrees to 44 degrees Fahrenheit. It's called Stonewash, which I believe is this one right here. Yep. It's kind of a more neutrally blue color. Super pretty. If you want as well, I can make a document with all of these colors in it. I don't know if anybody really cares to know. I did a temperature blanket a few years ago and people were really interested in the colors that I chose. And so I did make a little Instagram document of all the colors. So if you are interested in knowing the colors, make a comment down below and let me know, because I will make something up that has the colors that I chose. Anyway, and that I believe you can find at like any Hobby Lobby if you have one, or if you shop there. I know it's a little controversial, but I do like to shop there. And it's the only yarn store I have. Since Joann's been gone, we don't have a Michael's, so I have no choice. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so the next one is a Yarn Bee. It is teal green. And there was a teal color for I Love This Yarn, but it just wasn't that. Like I said, it was like too bright. This is like a nice, bright, very like saturated color, but it's not like overly bright, and I just liked it so much better. And this is a pretty good equivalent to I Love This Yarn. It's still really soft and stuff. It's the same price, and I don't think you get as much yarn. That's the only unfortunate part. So for I Love This Yarn, you get 355 yards, and for the Yarn Bee, you get 232 yards. So it's really not that much, but it's worth it to get the really pretty colors that I Love This Yarn doesn't get. Anyway, moving on. We've got Spa for 50 degrees to 54 degrees. We've got the color Spa, which is this beautiful green color. Love this. I've never used this color before. And then we've got this, which is Light Sage, this color, which is for 55 to 59 degrees Fahrenheit. This I use a lot. This color I've used quite a bit. I've used this probably in the last 2 temperature blankets that I've had, and also in other various projects, because it's just such a pretty color. And then we have another Yarn Bee. It is for 60 degrees to 64 degrees Fahrenheit. This is Olive. Such a pretty, pretty green. It looks really good next to this color. Okay, I'm running out of space. My phone cut me off because I'm running out of space on my phone, and so I'm gonna try to go through this pretty quickly. Okay, so I've got 65 to 69 degrees Fahrenheit. We've got this Periwinkle, and I Love This Yarn. 70 to 74 degrees, we've got this Plum in Yarn Bee. And then for 75 to 79, we've got Purple in Yarn Bee. I'm pulling it back here because this is more accurate to what the color is. And then for 80 to 84 degrees, we've got Cherry Blossom in I Love This Yarn. And then for 85 to 89 degrees, we have Rosy Cheeks in I Love This Yarn. And then for 90 to 94 degrees Fahrenheit, we've got Mauve in Yarn Bee. And then for the very last one, 95 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which we may not hit this very often, but I have it just in case. We have Burgundy in I Love This Yarn. So that's all the colors. They're all right here. They're all stacked up right there. But anyway, that is all the colors. Now I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna figure out the space issue on my phone. I'm gonna take off unnecessary photos and videos, and then I will come back and I will let you know my exact plan, my dimensions, stuff like that. That way you can maybe make a cardigan for yourself if you'd like, based on my calculations and such. But anyway, thanks for coming shopping with me. Okay, it's the next day and I've kind of figured out the space issue on my phone, but I will try to be quick about this part. I wanted to tell you what the dimensions were, or at least like how many squares that I'm gonna do. So this is gonna be, and I'll post a picture probably over my face, of this diagram. And again, this could be subject to change depending. You'll have to give me some advice if you have any, but I'm winging it. So The back is going to be, it's gonna be 6 squares by 6 squares, so it's gonna be a square. I may add more rows to the bottom to make it a little bit longer, or I may leave it that way. I want to also preface this by saying I'm a larger person, so my cardigan is going to be a little bit on the larger side, and so if you're a smaller person, this may not work for you. But for me, I like it oversized and I'm a larger person. So mine do have to be just a little bit bigger, quite a few more squares than other people's. So just keep that in mind as well. If you do want to make this for yourself and you're like a normal size person, you may not be able to get this same result, but that's what mine is. Mine, the back is going to be 6 squares by 6 squares. And I calculated each square to be 5.5 inches. I'm using a 5.5 millimeter hook, which means that the back should be 2.75 feet long and wide. I did that backwards, but you know what I mean. And then the front panel is going to be a 3 by 6 squares, but 2 will make 36 squares. And then the sleeves may change a little bit depending on how long I need to do them, but for now it's going to be a 4 by 2, and there are going to be 2 of them. And that's going to be 8 squares each, which is going to be 16. So together it's going to be 88 squares that I'm going to be making, which will open up. So each row is going to be its own day for the high temperature for that day. And it's going to be 352 colors, 352 days, which means that we are a little bit short of the 365 days, which I'm okay with, because I'm sometimes lazy and sometimes there may be a day that I have to skip, or I may have to skip at the end. But if I don't skip anything, then I'll just finish early in the year. So, so I'm okay with a little bit of wiggle room in that. But that is what I've calculated my cardigan to be, with each row of the sunburst granny square being its own day. So the center is going to be one day, and then the second row is going to be another, third row is going to be another, and then the fourth row is going to be another. And then I will combine those in the order in which I make them to make the cardigan. So I hope that makes sense. If you do have any questions, just let me know down below. I wanted to share that with you really quickly in this video, just to tell you kind of what I'm ending up doing. So by the time this video comes out, it's going to be Saturday the 3rd, I believe. And so by that point I will have 2 rows done. So it's not going to be a whole lot. It's not going to be a whole lot. However, I will wrap up this video by showing you the first 2 rows of the cardigan. I don't know how often I'm going to update you, but if you do want to subscribe, feel free to, because I am going to make a shorts series about this cardigan as well. And so feel free to subscribe and follow me for that if you want to see the progression of this. I hope you stick around, but you'll see, and it'll be a few days for me, but you'll see here the first couple rows, or the first couple rounds of the first square. So I'll see you there. So it is January 2nd. Is it January 2nd? Yep, it is January 2nd, 2026. Happy New Year. So I'm here to wrap up the video because I just finished the first 2 rows of the first granny square. How do you like it? What do you think? The first 2 colors ended up being the same color because it's been like amazing. The average temperature, I believe, for yesterday was 50 degrees, which is Spa from I Love This Yarn. Love this color, it's so pretty. But yesterday's was 50 and today's was 51, the average temperature, which I'm taking the high and the low temperature of each day and I'm dividing it by 2. That's how I'm getting my average temperature. And so the first 2 rows were the same color, which I was hoping that wouldn't happen. And what's funny is it happened the first 2 days, but that's okay, because that's just going to be accurate to the thing. What do you think? Oops. I love it. I love this color so far. I'm really excited. Tomorrow, if what is forecasted is what's going to happen, tomorrow should be colder, so we will have a different color. So anyway, I'm excited to see how this goes. I really appreciate you watching, especially if you came from my short. I woke up this morning with 10 extra subscribers because I posted the short about this cardigan, and so 10 of you, probably more of you, are excited to see this, but at least 10 people are really excited to see this happen. So I'm really excited. Thanks for being here. If you're the new ones, or if you just recently subscribed, thanks. If you want to follow along, I will probably be giving less updates on longer form as like a longer form video than my shorts, but if you subscribe, you'll see both of them. I will probably do weekly updates on my shorts just because it just seems a little bit easier that way to give updates. So feel free to subscribe if you want to see that. I really appreciate you watching. I hope you have a really good and amazing New Year's, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.